Luka Doncic and Rui Hachimura fuel a great fourth quarter comeback for the Lakers as they win in Dallas. That's next.
You are Locked On Lakers, your daily Los Angeles Lakers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thanks to everybody for making Locked On Lakers first listen of every day, Monday through Friday, sometimes on weekends, even on holidays. Whether you're listening through Apple, iTunes, Spotify, maybe you're one of the 37,000 subscribers, plus to the Locked On Lakers YouTube channel. No matter how you do it, you are part of making the Locked On Podcast Network the number one sports podcast network in this or any other known universe. Brian Kamenetsky with Andy Kamenetsky. Covered the Lakers for nearly 20 years with the LA Times and ESPN and The Athletic and ESPN Radio. And Andy, this was another revenge game for Luka Doncic. He goes into Dallas. He comes out a winner again. He is now 4-0 against his former club as the Lakers use a big fourth quarter comeback. The odds, Andy, the win probability for the Lakers with 7.5 minutes left was 1.7. It didn't stay that way.
It also, at that point, didn't feel that high. Even 1.7 felt ambitious. The Lakers.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Barely, because,
right.
I mean, the Lakers played really well in the first half. They were up double digits. And then the third quarter was just this disastrous cocktail of smoked layups and inexplicably stupid turnovers, stupid decisions. And there was really nobody who did not have a hand in the disaster. Like I can go through and find Marcus Smart throwing a really terrible turnover that turned into a Dallas score. Luka called for an offensive foul. DeAndre Ayton smoking what felt like his 500th layup in this game.
Yeah, this was the worst. This is the offensively, at least, the strangest and worst game DeAndre has played.
I'm kind of concerned about his vision after getting poked in the eye, and I'm not kidding, because he was missing some incredibly makeable shots. I mean, he did, I guess, see the ball well enough to grab 11 rebounds, 5 on the offensive glass. So for real, kudos on that. But I mean,
get the one, although like 5 of those offensive rebounds were on one play.
Yes, and they were all his own miss. They were all DeAndre collecting his own miss. And again, right. I really think he might need to get the peepers checked out. But
you're right, Andy. Like that third quarter, like the 116 was 110 was the final, but like that third quarter was like they played a really good first quarter, really good second quarter. The third quarter was arguably the worst quarter they played this season. And then they came back and at the very least had a really good end to the fourth.
I was going to say, because the fourth quarter didn't even start out promisingly either. Like some of the lowlights directly out of the third quarter, Drew Timme airball to three. And that led to Brandon Williams, who was very good in this game, driving inside, drawing an and one on a foul on Ayton that pushed Dallas's lead up to double digits. LeBron then, in a transition drive off a Dallas miss, smoked a layup. That led to whichever Martin is in Dallas, Caleb Martin, hitting a three on the other end. Luka had a shot clock violation. Later on, Rui had a shot clock violation. I mean, it really was just flat out disastrous for a while, until the moment that it really felt like things were turning around. Rui drove to the rim and got blocked, but he made this incredible save of the ball, just trying to retain the possession, kicked the ball to LeBron in the corner. LeBron hits a three, and that's when it felt like the Lakers were starting to get some life. At that point, they'd cut the lead to 10. And then from there, the Lakers started playing much smarter offensively. They really cranked up the defense. Some big shots from Luka, some big shots from Rui. Marcus Smart had some good plays on both ends. And the Lakers just steadily regained control of this game.
And they ran away with it, kind of. I mean, the game was, it ended up being a 6-point game, but it's not like they were following up into the end. Like the last minute was really not in doubt. So a big win for the Lakers. Obviously, This was one of those games that was like a real, I don't want to say it was a quiet game, given the statistical performance from Luka, but it was so efficient and like kind of workmanlike in this. It wasn't like super flashy like a lot of Luka's big time stat lines can be. He ended up with 33 points, 8 of 15 shooting, 14 of 15 from the line. 15 trips to the line is a big deal, especially given how the Lakers, this trend league wide, Andy, of not sending teams to the line as much. It's a big part of their game, and they need to have it. 8 rebounds, 11 assists. He had a steal and a block and a huge drawn charge in the fourth quarter as part of that comeback. This was a really good game from Luka.
Yeah, and a really good game for this team. I'm seeing a couple people point out in the comments, and it's true. This is a game where the Lakers could have given up and just felt like we cannot get out of our own way tonight for whatever reason, and we're just going to resign ourselves to the fact that this is not it's not our night. And they ultimately regained their composure. I realize Dallas is a very inconsistent team. They're missing a few players, namely Anthony Davis, although he was warming up pregame, or not even warming up, but just going through some stuff. And given the way everybody returns against the Lakers, I was waiting for this announcement that Anthony Davis was returning like 3 weeks ahead of schedule.
At least 3 weeks, like playing one-handed.
Right, exactly. He obviously didn't play, but Daniel Gafford did return. Old friend Max Christie had a phenomenal game. But the Lakers just, again, they regrouped. This was, I believe, a 3 or 4 game winning streak for Dallas, so that they were
playing pretty well.
They've been playing well, and the Lakers are now 2-1 on this road trip. The Clippers loss, you at least saw them play well in the second half before ultimately, I think, kind of running out of gas. But the last, I think, week and a half has been, we can talk about this more at length in the full show heading into Monday, but I think the last week and a half, there have been some pretty promising signs for this team, and especially knowing Austin Reeves is expected to be back on this road trip earlier than either one of us thought he'd be back.
I didn't think he'd be back for the All-Star break.
Neither did I.
I absolutely did not think that would happen. And I will say, like, they have stopped the bleeding. I think it is fair to say, like, look, the Clipper game, especially that first half, was problematic. They've struggled at different things. It's not like everything is fixed. Like, the bench is still a problem. Having Rui be productive off of it makes a difference. Jared Vanderbilt hit a couple threes in this game, which, it's not so much can Vando hit threes. It's just if he's going to be playing, a reasonable amount of minutes, although he only played 12 in this one, but like over the course of recent games, if he's going to get minutes, you need some kind of contribution. Jake LaRavia had a couple big buckets and hit a couple threes. Like he's
kind of all over the place, but he made some big plays down the stretch.
They have steadied things out a little bit. And I think, the feeling of doom of like when they were playing really poorly and could not get a stop against anyone. And that feeling of wondering whether or not they were ever going to be able to figure out how to play some defense again. I do think they've moved past that and are kind of back to being the team that they were early in the year, which is very good, winning a lot of games with flaws.
Yeah, and pointing out
for now.
Yeah, pointing out some of the contributions in that fourth quarter when they turned things around. LeBron, who I mentioned before, was part of the missed layup brigade, but in the fourth quarter, 5 of 7 for 11 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block. A lot of big moments from LeBron down the stretch. He was
very good defensively in that quarter.
Yeah. I mean, LeBron had a very good fourth quarter. Luka, we mentioned, was instrumental in sparking that comeback. 9 points, 2 assists, and a rebound. Rui had 7 points in the fourth quarter, including a huge 4-point play. This was, by the way, one of those times, I guarantee when kids going over the film with his players, Rui got this 4-point play because he faked the pass at the arc and then got the defender to bite on the shot attempt. And the kid's going to be like, guys, he's not passing. Like, he's
know
not
your
passing.
personnel.
Know your personnel. Rui Hachimura is not passing in that moment. But Rui was very big down the stretch. I mentioned Marcus Smart. He had 7 points, 4 rebounds, including a huge putback dunk on a Rui miss, 3 offensive rebounds, just a lot of guys making big moments happen in the fourth quarter. And this is a team, I mean, at this point, we have seen if you put them in a close game in the fourth quarter, at minimum, they will make a game of it.
Their execution has tended to get better. I mean, the 14-2 in clutch time, which this game they now returned this game to clutch time status and won it, so they're now 14-2. Technically, the second loss was actually the Clipper game,
right.
Where they again battled back into a clutch time category and then couldn't pull it out. I think you mentioned like they could have quit in this game. I think they realized like Dallas is not coming back against Dallas is not the same thing as coming back against Oklahoma City. Not coming like they did it against the Clippers, who were a much better team, and so the game is still there. And they do tend to turn up their execution again, as these games get deeper, which is good on both sides of the ball. They got to have it. So yeah, they play Monday in Chicago, Wednesday in Cleveland, 2 winnable games. The Cavs are a little bit beat up and have been kind of up and down all season. So there are some wins out here, even though it's a long road stretch. We'll see what they do. Locked On Lakers on YouTube is where you can go hang out with over 37,000 plus subscribers, Andy, but we cannot leave without telling people about this.
Well, that Locked On Lakers is brought to you by Game Time. And during basketball season, there's nothing like being in the building, the energy, the crowd, that first big run that gets everyone on their feet, or the fourth quarter run if you were watching the Lakers in Dallas, because there were a lot of Laker fans in that building. Luka actually got some of them sweet passes and stuff like that, which is very, very generous of him.
They didn't need Game Time for that.
No. You needed Luka time. But right. If you are not a close personal friend,
everyone else needed Game Time.
Right. If you're not a close personal friend of Luka Doncic and you want to be there for the big moments and you want to know what the tickets are going to cost, like really going to cost because Luka's not paying for them, that's where Game Time comes in. The Game Time app gives the power back to the fans, making it incredibly easy to score amazing tickets, fast, simple, without the guesswork. Browsing the Game Time app is straightforward, intuitive. Finding tickets takes just a few taps. Prices include the fee up front, so the total is crystal clear from the start. And whether it's an NBA game or another live event, everything is right there in one place. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNBA, that's LOCKEDONNBA, for $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time app today. Get in on the action.
Locked On Lakers is also brought to you by FanDuel. Fridays are already feeling different during basketball season, and FanDuel is making them even better. Every Friday night before games tip off, FanDuel offers fans a new way to kick off the weekend with NBA Happy Hour. It's your official pregame. A limited time window where special offers drop right inside of the FanDuel app before the action starts. Fridays from 6 to 7:30 Eastern, that's 3 to 4:30 Pacific time, and become appointment viewing with NBA Happy Hour. Opening the FanDuel app during Happy Hour always brings something new. Boosts, bonuses, and surprises. Adds extra energy to Friday night basketball without overthinking it. Friday night at our house is pizza night. That's also exciting. So before tip-off, check the FanDuel app to make sure you see what's dropping during NBA Happy Hour every Friday from 6 to 7:30 Eastern, 3 to 4:30 Pacific. A little basketball, a little action, whole lot of Friday energy. That's NBA Happy Hour only on FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NBA. All right, we'll see everyone. We'll see everyone tomorrow.